So the backstory with this thing is that it was in storage, and the storage unit next to it needed to be pressure washed for who knows what reason. And of course that introduced moisture into the adjacent storage units, and this Jeep was in one of those adjacent storage units. So long story short, after a couple of months of just sitting in there, the owner decided to stop by and check in on his Jeep, only to find that it was covered, completely covered in mold. Interior is just completely destroyed. So of course the owner decided to reach out to us and let us know that he had a mold situation with his Jeep. You know, when we initially talked, we didn't know to what extent, but then when he sent me a couple of pictures, we realized it was just a massive mess. It's gonna be a massive undertaking. So we had him tow the vehicle here to our shop so we can do good thorough visual inspection and come up with a game plan and figure out what to do with it. Because we've dealt with mold in the past, just not to this extent. And just to do our due diligence, we decided to reach out to a mold remediation specialist, and we consulted with them. And after having a discussion in person and doing an inspection in person, we all agreed that we were fully equipped to handle the situation. We already have everything we need to do mold remediation. We've just never done it to this extent. So together we came up with a game plan, and now it's time to attack it. So what we're gonna start out with is, as we're removing things out of the Jeep, we're gonna have everyone vacuum everything out. We're gonna treat this like a full interior detail, on top of the mold remediation. So we'll vacuum everything out after we empty out the Jeep. And as we're removing things out of the Jeep, we're also gonna spray everything down with a mold killer, mold remover, and disinfectants. Once we've let the mold killer and disinfectant sit there for a little while and dwell to do its thing, we'll come back with some cleaner and rinse everything down. Anytime you mix moisture with a dirty vehicle and then you put it in storage that way, I mean, you've got ripe conditions for mold growth. Dark, dingy, non-climate controlled storage units, plus a dirty vehicle, plus moisture equals mold. No, we don't fake things around here. It's like soup. Gotta love standing water, don't ya? We didn't know that was there. What was in front of it? Or what was on top of it?
The trunk mat.
The trunk mat? I want to treat your shoes after we're done too. So we've dedicated a whole bin of towels that we're gonna use to wipe up the initial treatment and the initial mold. So all of these towels will be thrown away. We save some towels every once in a while for mold spots that we can just treat and throw away anything that we don't use. We don't want to pick up any of these mold spores with our good interior towels and potentially transfer them to other vehicles. We don't want our equipment and our tools to pick up the mold either. So that's why we are dedicating these towels to the initial step to help prevent spreading the mold even further. So as we're treating everything with the mold killer and disinfectants, we're gonna start removing the seats once those have been treated and wiped down. If we can remove the upholstery, we will remove the upholstery. There she is. All right, just wanted to point out here, look at that. We haven't done anything to it right now at this point with this amount of water. We haven't done anything with any kind of water yet. We haven't washed the exterior, nothing. But look at this, completely soaked. And this is the floor mat. Can only imagine what it looks like underneath this. Look at that, completely soaked with water. Can't wait to see what's underneath that. Yeah, I'm gonna roll this part up because there's a lot of water in here. Gotta love it. We're gonna drain this baby. That'll all go outside into our drains. And this is why we're also gonna pressure wash the chassis underneath. We'll probably use our shop vac and vacuum up the rest of this water here. Just want to drain out as much as I can. When I pull it out, it's going to keep dripping. Ready? Woo! Let's put that right outside. JL Audio amplifier just kind of sitting here. Looks like the screws just kind of rusted through. Just popped right up. So as I'm spraying this down and removing stuff, guess what else I found? Rodent damage. Looks like they've been chewing the back side of the liner. So this is definitely rodent damage. There's a little bit here, a little bit here, but it looks like they were starting to destroy this here. I'll shine my light on there for you. Got some more rodent damage, complete with rodent droppings. Gonna have to see where all that stuffing is coming from. Looks like mostly foam, yeah? That looks like seat cushion. So as I'm taking off this subwoofer box here, obviously we already had signs of all the rodent damage from that liner that was over here, but looks like they chewed, thankfully just through the insulation on this one. Doesn't look like they went through the wires, but unfortunately up here, if you follow their trail here, you can see that they chewed through the electrical tape, and you can see the copper shining back at us a little bit probably. So we'll have to address that with the owner. We'll have to see where this goes because it goes up here. But anyway, we'll have to see where that goes, and it might be something that we can repair here in-house. Thankfully my background is in automotive, so it might be something I can handle myself. So I just started vacuuming the outside here because there was dog hair all over it. And as you can see, there's dog hair all over that. We're not too concerned about the dog hair. We'll get that cleaned up. But basically, I'm just removing the upholstery to peel it back to make sure that there's no mold growing underneath. So that's what we're gonna do now, just to make sure there's no mold underneath it. What do you see? You got the first look at it.
Good.
Looks good. No, that one's glued in, so we're not gonna touch that, but I don't see any mold. So that's good. Dodged the bullet on that one. Otherwise, they'd probably have to have us replace the cushions.
Leather seats, they're out, so they're gonna be quite a bit easier to clean, especially around the sides. We don't have the center console blocking our way, seat belts, things like that. So right away, I'm gonna go for some disinfectant off you, Dan. This one looks like it didn't quite get hit with disinfectant when we were pulling it out. So I'll just hit it with some right off the bat here, just to pull some of that mold and kill it off as well, obviously. Just a general wipe down with this.
Headrest. I'll do the back once I'm done with up here.
So yesterday, once we had everything taken off, like the door panels and the center console, we treated everything with a mold killer and disinfectant. Previous owner had, or the owner has pets and kids, so we found a lot of pet hair, lots of dirt and debris, of course. Must use it as a Jeep, takes it outdoors. So we cleaned that all up for them and disinfected as we went. In the spot where we found all the standing water, some of the wiring did have some black mold in there, but we got that all cleaned up and decided to just keep everything in there for them. Now that everything is clean, we started putting everything back together, starting with the center console, liners, the liners for the roll cage, put the door panels back together. Now it's time to detail. What day is this anyway? Day 3, right? Day 3 of the moldy Jeep. And we're finally putting it back together, one piece at a time. I just threw them in the center console there.
Sure.
One more. Did you remember to plug in the electrical connector for the light? Mirror light? Nope, just kidding. There was no mirror. I mean, there's no light. Got it. There you go. Maybe. Oh, I'll let you know if I need it. Once it goes through. Okay, that's good. And then I'm just gonna lean it forward. Yes. Because I gotta get all the nuts and bolts out. Not tomorrow, just whatever we can today.
Once we put the interior back together, we gave the Jeep an exterior detail to match its refreshed interior. The engine bay had also seen better days, so we spruced that up, finishing off with a tire shine for a polished look. When this Jeep first arrived, the job seemed impossible. But we think the results speak for themselves. It's almost unbelievable that this interior belongs to the same Jeep we started with. After 3 days of intense cleaning, every component inside the Jeep was mold-free, and I can't believe how good it looks.